Belinda Jo Carlisle, Kroll born August 17, 1958, is an American musician, singer, and author. She gained fame as the lead singer of the Go-Go's, the most successful all-female rock band of all time, and went on to have a prolific career as a solo artist. Raised in Southern California, Carlisle became the lead singer of the Go-Go's after the band's formation in 1978. With their chart-topping debut release Beauty and the Beat in 1981, the group helped popularize new wave music in the United States. The Go-Go's were the first, and to date only, all-female band in history who wrote their own songs and played their own instruments to achieve a #1 album. The Go-Go's have sold over 7 million records worldwide. 2. After the dissolution of the Go-Go's in 1985, Carlisle went on to have a successful solo career with radio hits such as Mad About You, I Get Weak, Circle in the Sand, Leave a Light On, and Heaven is a Place on Earth. The Go-Go's reformed in 1999, and Carlisle continues to perform with them regularly while also maintaining her solo career. Carlisle's autobiography, Lips Unsealed, published in June 2010, was a New York Times bestseller and received favorable reviews. 3. In 2011, Carlisle, as a member of the Go-Go's, received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 4. She and the band were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on October 30, 2021. 5. Contents: 1. Early life and education. 2. Career. 2.1 Early ventures and the Go-Go's. 2.2 Solo career. 2.2.1 1985 to 1990. 2.2.2 1991 to 1999. 2.3 Later recordings and Go-Go's reunions. 2.3.1 2001 to 2009. 2.3.2 2010 present. 3 Musical style and influences. 4 Personal life. 4.1 Relationships and family. 4.2 Health. 5 Activism. 6 In popular culture. 7 Awards and nominations. 8 Discography. 9 See also. 10 References. 11 Sources. 12 External links. Early life and education. Carlisle in her 1976 yearbook photo. Belinda Jo Carlisle was born in Hollywood, Los Angeles, California, on August 17, 1958. 6. To Harold Carlisle, a gas station employee, and his wife, Joanne Nate Thompson, a homemaker. 7. Her mother met her father, who was 20 years her senior, at age 18, and Carlisle was born 9 months later. 6. She was named after her mother's favorite film, Johnny Belinda, 1948. 8. Carlisle was the first of 7 siblings. She has 3 brothers and 3 sisters. When she was 5 years old, Carlisle's father abandoned their family, and she has stated that she spent most of her childhood impoverished. 9. As a teenager, she recalled owning like 2 outfits. 10. According to Carlisle, her mother was very religious, while her father was not. 10. In an interview with Slash magazine, she described herself as a reject from a Southern Baptist household. 11. Her mother later remarried Walt Kirchski, who Carlisle says was an alcoholic. 10. And with whom she had a tumultuous relationship. 12. The family moved frequently during her childhood, from Simi Valley to Reseda, before settling in Burbank when Carlisle was 7 years old. 13. At age 10, Carlisle began to express interest in music, and recalled the Beach Boys, Cat Stevens, the Stylistics, and the Animals as being early musical influences. 14. The family relocated again during Carlisle's adolescence, this time to Thousand Oaks, California. She attended Galena Junior High School in Thousand Oaks, where she was a third-string guard on the men's basketball team, and later Newberry Park High School, where she was a cheerleader. During her teenage years, Carlisle became rebellious, By the time I hit 14, I'd gone really wild, she said. I ran away from home, smoked pot, dropped acid, you name it, I'd try it. 15, after high school, Carlisle worked at a House of Fabrics store, and as a photocopier at the Hilton Hotels Corporation in Los Angeles at age 18. 16, she took night classes attending beauty college, but dropped out in the first year. 17, at the age of 19, Carlisle left her parents' home to pursue a career in music. 18. Career. Early ventures and the Go-Go's. Main article, The Go-Go's. Then there was a divide in the LA punk scene between the acid people and the opiate people. Darby was always with the heroin people, and I was always with the hallucinogenic crowd. But he was a genius and an amazing lyricist. There's no question he was a genius and way ahead of his time. Carlisle on Darby Crash and her early years in the Los Angeles music scene. 19. Carlisle's first venture into music was in 1977 as drummer for the punk rock band The Germs, under the name Danger. 20, she was recruited into the band by Lorna Doom, whom she had met in an art class while a student at Newbury Park High School. 21-22, however, her time in the band was short owing to her contracting mononucleosis, and she never recorded or performed live with the Germs. According to Germs guitarist Pat Smear, upon quitting, she introduced her friend, Donna Raya, who became her replacement. 23, Carlisle does appear on one recording introducing the band at a 1977 performance at the Whiskey A Go Go, heard on the live album Germicide, 1977. 24, around this time, Carlisle did some backup singing for Black Randy and the Metris Cad. 25. Soon after leaving the Germs, she co-founded the Go-Go's, originally named the Misfits, with friends and fellow musicians Margot Olavaria, Elisa Bello, and Jane Weedlin. Olavaria and Bello were soon out of the group, and the new lineup included bassist-turned-guitarist Charlotte Caffey, guitarist-turned-bassist Kathy Valentine, and drummer Gina Schock. 26, all 5 women were largely untrained musicians, and Carlisle recalls having to use tape as fret markers during their initial songwriting. Charlotte had to show us how to plug in our amps, she said. 10. The Go-Go's went on to become one of the most successful American bands of the 1980s, helping usher new wave music into popular American radio, and becoming the first and only all-female band that wrote their own music and played their own instruments. 10. To ever achieve a #1 album, Beauty and the Beat, which featured the hits We Got the Beat and Our Lips Are Sealed. 27. The Go-Go's recorded 2 more studio albums on IRS Records, including 1982's Vacation, which went gold. Head Over Heels, from their 1984 album Talk Show, made it to number 11. 28. In 1984, Carlisle made a foray into acting in the movie Swing Shift, appearing as a band singer alongside Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. 29. Solo career. 1985 to 1990. The Go-Go's disbanded in 1985, and Carlisle embarked on a solo career. Carlisle's first solo album Belinda was released in 1986, 30, also on IRS Records. 26. This album was successful in North America and was certified gold in the United States and platinum in Canada. Her summer hit Mad About You peaked at number 3 in the United States. 26, topped the Canadian singles chart, and charted in the top 10 in Australia. Mad About You was followed by the Motown-influenced single I Feel the Magic written by Charlotte Caffey, and by a cover version of the Frida Payne song Band of Gold. All 3 songs were included on her debut album. The single Since You've Gone, co-written by Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac, was used only for promotion. Susanna Hoffs co-wrote the single I Need a Disguise, in which she also sang backup vocals along with Jane Weedlin. Duran Duran's Andy Taylor played guitar on some album tracks and appeared in her Mad About You video clip. 31. During this time, Carlisle also had songs featured on movie soundtracks, notably in My Wildest Dreams from the movie Mannequin, Shot in the Dark from the Anthony Michael Hall thriller Out of Bounds, as well as Dancing in the City from the Whoopi Goldberg movie Burglar, 1987. 32. The musical style of 1987's Heaven on Earth eschewed the 1960s influenced pop of Carlisle's first album in favor of slickly produced 1980s power pop. It was released in the United States through MCA, and in the United Kingdom through Virgin Records. The album became a top 5 bestseller in the UK and Australia, and was nominated for a Grammy Award. 15. The album's first single, Heaven is a Place on Earth, topped the single charts in the United States and the UK, with the dance mix of the song also topping the Billboard dance chart in the United States. The promotional video was directed by Academy Award-winning American actress Diane Keaton. The second single from the album was the Diane Warren-penned I Get Weak, which peaked at number 2 in the United States and number 10 in the UK. The third single from the album was Circle in the Sand, another top 10 hit in the United States, the UK, and Germany. World Without You is another British hit. Following the success of the album, Carlisle embarked on the Good Heavens World Tour, which sold out Wembley Arena in London. 33. Carlisle's follow-up to the success of Heaven on Earth was Runaway Horses, released on October 23, 1989. The album hit the top 5 in both Australia and the UK, certified double platinum in Australia and platinum in the UK and in Canada. The first release, Leave a Light On, peaked at number 11 in the United States, and became another top 5 smash in the UK, Australia and Canada. 34. 1989 also saw Carlisle performing vocals with the Smithereens in a duet with Pat DiNizio on the song Blue Period. The song was featured on their album 11. The second United States single, Summer Rain, reached number 30 in early 1990. 35. The song reached number 6 in Australia. It was the final release from Runaway Horses in the UK, where it was released as the album's 6th single in December 1990, peaking at number 23 in January 1991. 35. 3 further singles were released, the title track, La Luna, which reached the top 10 in Switzerland and top 20 hit in Germany and Australia, and We Want, the Same Thing, which reached number 6 in the UK. 35. In the late autumn of 1990, the Go-Go's reunited for a tour to support their first Best of album, Greatest, including a new recording of the cover song Cool Jerk. The Go-Go's original cover was featured on their 1980 European EP, with a second version being released in 1982. A notable feature of the tour was an anti-fur campaign, where the band members supported the animal rights organization PETA. 36. 1991 to 1999. In 1991, Carlisle released her fourth solo album, Live Your Life Be Free. The album marked somewhat of a return to 1960s-influenced music for Carlisle and included songs mainly written and produced by Rick Nels but also 2 songs co-written by Carlisle. The single Do You Feel Like I Feel? Was accompanied by a video inspired by the B-movie Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. The title track, Live Your Life Be Free, released as first single outside the United States, was a top 20 hit single in many countries, reaching number 12 in the UK, 35, and number 13 in Australia. Subsequent releases Half the World and Little Black Book, co-written by Marcella Detroit under her real name Marcy Levy, were also hits outside the United States. The album was also a success in Europe, top 10 in the UK and gold certification. To date, Do You Feel Like I Feel? Is Carlisle's final single to enter in the Billboard Hot 100 chart, peaking at number 73. Citation needed. Still active in Europe and Australia with a record contract at Virgin Records, her 1992 greatest hits album The Best of Belinda, Volume 1 reached number 1, 35, and was certified double platinum in the UK and platinum in Australia. This first greatest hits album included all the hits taken from Heaven on Earth, Runaway Horses, and Live Your Life Be Free. The United States version of the album was named her greatest hits and also included songs from the first album Belinda. Citation needed. Carlisle's fifth solo album, Real, was released in 1993 on the Virgin label in the United States and in Europe. Produced without Knowles, the disc was a departure from Carlisle's polished pop music formula. Even the album's cover photograph featured her with little or no makeup. Carlisle co-produced and co-wrote much of the album, collaborating heavily with friend and ex-go-go Charlotte Caffey. The album was Carlisle's fifth consecutive to reach the UK top 10, peaking at number 9. 35. It peaked also at number 23 in Sweden. Its first single, Big Scary Animal, peaked at number 12 in the UK. 35. The second single from Real was Lay Down Your Arms, which made the top 30 in the UK. 35. Greg Alexander of the New Radicals co-wrote the single Here Comes My Baby. Also in 1993, Carlisle provided guest vocals on the Lemonheads album Come On Feel the Lemonheads. Citation needed. The Go-Go's reunited in 1994 to support the retrospective double CD Return to the Valley of the Go-Go's, their second collection, which featured 3 new songs, including the single The Whole World Lost Its Head. However, the band broke up again, soon after the promotional tour. Citation needed. Carlisle returned to the recording studio, and resumed working again with Rick Knowles. In 1996 she released in the UK and Australia her sixth solo album, A Woman and a Man, on the Chrysalis label. This album, consisting of mostly relaxed adult pop, revitalized her solo career in Europe, and included several hits. The lead-off single, In Too Deep, returned Carlisle to the UK top 10 for the first time in 6 years, reaching number 6. Always Breaking My Heart, written and produced by Roxette Spergessel, also made the UK top 10, peaking at number 8. 35. The album spawned 2 further hits in the UK, Love in the Key of C, and California, which featured arrangement and backup vocals by Brian Wilson. 37. The album reached number 12 in the UK, 35, and was certified gold. As a result of A Woman and a Man's UK success, the album was released in the United States during the summer of 1997 on the Small Arc 21 label. In 1997, she recorded I Won't Say, I'm in Love, for the Disney movie Hercules. The song was released as a single exclusively in France and Germany. Citation needed. In 1999, Carlisle released a Greatest Hits album in the UK, a double disc on the Virgin label, collectively titled A Place on Earth, The Greatest Hits. The first disc featured Carlisle's hits plus 3 new tracks recorded for the album, the single All God's Children, and the songs A Prayer for Everyone and Feels Like I've Known You Forever. The second disc, subtitled A Place on Earth, contained previously released remixes of some of her hits and some B-sides which had not previously been released on CD. Some of the remixes were by William Orbit. A Place on Earth, The Greatest Hits was certified gold in the UK and went on to sell in excess of 1 million copies worldwide. A European version was marketed with an interview CD in which Carlisle provides answers to over 40 questions sent in by fans. Citation needed. Later recordings and Go-Go's reunions. 2001 to 2009. Carlisle Live with the Go-Go's, Austin, Texas, 2008. In 2001, the Go-Go's reunited again and released an album of new material, God Bless the Go-Go's. Green Day's lead singer Billie Joe Armstrong co-wrote the only released single Unforgiven. Citation needed. God Bless the Go-Go's received mixed reviews from critics. Peter Fawthrop of AllMusic wrote every bit as Go-Go's, that is, as their non-hits and less remarkable material. While the Go-Go's sound is intact, there is not a we got the beat or a head over heels to be found. It is feasible that in this age of pop rebirth, the Go-Go's decided it was now or never. The album doesn't attempt to update the band's sound with hip-hop moves or electronic frippery, for which God should bless 'em, indeed. The girls' hold on the current pop world remains so strong that Green Day's Billie Joe Armstrong co-writes a song, Unforgiven, in impeccable Go-Go's drag. 38. In spite of the mixed reviews, the album charted in the US Billboard 200, peaking at number 57. Around the time of the Go-Go's definitive reunion tour, Carlisle appeared nude for the cover feature and a full pictorial of the August 2001 edition of Playboy. 39. In 2007, Carlisle released her seventh album, Voila, which was her first full-length solo studio album in more than 10 years. 40. The album was produced by John Reynolds and included Brian Eno on keyboards. 41. Consisting of a mix of French pop tunes and chanson standards, including covers of Françoise Hardy and Edith Piaf classics, Voila was released via Rykodisc in the UK on February 5 and in the United States the following day, February 6, 2007. 41. In early 2009, Carlisle was on the 8th season of Dancing with the Stars, paired with Jonathan Roberts. She was the first star to be eliminated from the competition, on March 17. 42. In October 2009, Carlisle took over the role of Velma Von Tussle in London's West End production of Hairspray at the Shaftesbury Theatre. 43. She remained with the show till late January 2010. 44, and was replaced by Siobhan McCarthy. 45. 2010 present. Carlisle performing in Bristol, England, 2014. Between 2011 and 2012, Carlisle embarked on a United States tour with the Go-Go's, which included concerts at the Greek Theatre in Los Angeles in August 2011 and the Hollywood Bowl in September 2012. In March 2013, Carlisle released her first U.S. single in 17 years titled Sun, an up-tempo pop song, which was included on Icon, a new greatest hits compilation album. The single was also released in the United Kingdom. The song was written by Carlisle, Jane Wiedlin of the Go-Go's and singer-songwriter Gabe Lopez. Lopez also produced the song. While the track did not chart, it received positive reviews. 46-47. In August 2013, Edsel Records released remastered, 3-disc versions of Heaven on Earth, Runaway Horses, Live Your Life Be Free, and Real. Each album comprised a remastered version of the original LP followed by the 7-inch or radio edits of each single from that album, a second disc of remixes and 12-inch versions of all the singles, and a DVD comprising the promotional videos for the singles. Some of singles and remixes had never previously been released on CD. In March 2014, a new greatest hits titled The Collection was released containing 18 hits and one new song, Goodbye Just Go, along with a DVD of 18 videos. The album reached number 24 in the UK Albums Chart. 35. Also in March 2014, another digitally remastered, 5-disc retrospective collection titled Anthology was released. The anthology included Dancing in the City, which had previously only been available on the Japanese LP/CD for the soundtrack to the 1987 movie I Won't Say I'm in Love, which had previously only been released in 1997 as a CD single in France. It also included all 3 singles from her first album and all 4 singles from A Woman and a Man. Later in 2014, Carlisle's 3 other studio albums, Belinda, A Woman and a Man and Voila, were reissued by Edsel on CD, although there were a number of issues with their production. 48. Carlisle confirmed in a radio interview in August 2015 that she has completed work on a new album, tentatively earmarked for release in January 2016. She commented that the music on the album will be partly inspired by Kundalini Yoga, which she had taken up while pregnant in 1991-1992 and of which she had qualified as a teacher since becoming sober in 2005. 49. Also in August 2015, Edsel released a box set of all the commercially released singles from Carlisle's studio albums, plus a bonus disc featuring a previously unreleased recording of In My Wildest Dreams, which had featured in the 1987 film Mannequin. In late 2016, the Go-Go's completed an international tour with Best Coast as a supporting act, which Carlisle stated would likely be their last tour together. 19. Carlisle's eighth studio album, a selection of Gurmukhi chants titled Wilder Shores, was released in September 2017. 50. Carlisle and the Go-Go's announced an 11-date reunion tour scheduled to begin in June 2020. However, in May 2020 the tour was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 51. In May 2021 it was announced that the Go-Go's would be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. 52-53, the band confirmed plans for a 2022 UK tour with Billy Idol that would start in June 2022. 54, the band was forced to postpone a short West Coast tour scheduled for the first week of January 2022 due to a COVID-19 case involving someone on the tour. New rescheduled dates for the shows would be announced very soon. 55. Musical style and influences. One day I walked into the record store and I saw the cover of Raw Power. And I said, "Who's that?" I bought the album and it opened up a whole new world I didn't even know existed. I started going into LA to see bands. Post-glitter bands. Carlisle on her early influences, 2010. 56. Carlisle has been noted by critics for her dynamic soprano vocal range. 57. While Carlisle's discography both with the Go-Go's and in her solo work have been predominantly characterized as pop music, some music scholars such as Grill Marcus have noted a confluence of subtle punk influences as well as pop rock, specifically in the Go-Go's early releases. Marcus suggests that any traces of punk influence were carried over from Carlisle's brief tenure in the Germs. 58. Carlisle has been alternately described by critics as a punk diva, 59, and pop princess. 60. As a singer in the Go-Go's, Carlisle was associated with the new wave genre, and the band was remarked by critics for their style that injected punk with the sound of California surf music. 61. Her subsequent solo releases, beginning with her self-titled solo debut, Belinda, 1986, were remarked by critics as more polished contemporary pop music. 40. Her early inspirations during her childhood were the Beach Boys, Cat Stevens, the Stylistics, and the Animals. 14. As a teenager, she saw Iggy Pop on the cover of the Stooges' Raw Power in a record store. 25. An album which she credited as a gateway exposing her to punk and art rock acts such as the Velvet Underground, New York Dolls, Roxy Music, and the Sex Pistols. 60-63. In a 2013 interview, Carlisle stated that despite having recorded an abundance of it throughout her career, she didn't really listen to pop music, and had recently been inspired by jazz artists such as Miles Davis. 64. Personal life. Relationships and family. Carlisle signing autographs in 2012. Carlisle had a 2-year relationship with Bill Bateman, drummer for the Blasters, in the early 1980s. She broke up abruptly with Bateman because she had taken up with Mike Marshall of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Her cocaine use was a negative influence on these relationships. 65. In 1986, Carlisle married political operative and film producer Morgan Mason, son of actor James Mason. He made appearances in Carlisle's music videos Mad About You and Heaven is a Place on Earth. They have one son, James Duke Mason, who was born in 1992. 66. After the 1994 Northridge earthquake, Carlisle and her family moved to Fréjus in southeastern France. 67. They lived between there and the US. 68-69. In 2017, the couple moved to Bangkok. 70. In a 1990 interview with Spin, Carlisle stated that she was not close with her siblings or parents, saying, "I want to be close to them. I kind of feel uncomfortable. I think I feel guilty sometimes about my success in some ways." 10. Health. During the initial stages of her tenure with the Go-Go's, Carlisle developed a serious addiction to cocaine and alcohol that went on to spend 30 years. 71. Simultaneously, she had also developed an eating disorder, which she said stemmed from media comments regarding her appearance. Her excessive cocaine use helped keep her weight down. 69. Additionally, Carlisle admitted to using LSD, Quaaludes, and MDA regularly as both a teenager and adult. 10. In a 2017 interview, she told The Guardian that she couldn't believe she wasn't dead. 50. In 2005, at the height of her drug abuse, Carlisle spent 3 days isolated in a London hotel room binging cocaine. 72. At one point, she recalled that she looked at herself in the mirror and was alarmed that she didn't see a light or a soul in her eyes. 73. I sat in my room and did cocaine all evening. Between lines of cocaine, I smoked cigarettes, played games on my laptop, and paced the room. I must have smoked 10 packs of cigarettes in 2 days. 72. On the third day, Carlisle said she had a vision of herself being found dead in a hotel, accompanied by an auditory hallucination in which a loud voice informed her, "You are going to die here if you carry on like this." 74. The incident jarred Carlisle into seeking sobriety, and she says she has been sober since 2005. 74. She told the Sydney Morning Herald in 2014, "I don't smoke anymore, I don't drink anymore, and I don't do drugs anymore. I am very much into my Buddhism. I found turning 40, in 1998, a real passage in time for me." 75. Carlisle states in her autobiography Lips Unsealed, a memoir, that she has practiced Nichiren Buddhism as a member of the Soka Gakkai International since 2002. 76, and she often mentions in press interviews that she chants Namu Maya Orange Kyo daily. 77. She has also credited the practice with helping her maintain sobriety. 78. Activism. Carlisle supports LGBT rights, which she made public after her son, Duke, came out to her at age 14. 79. In 2014, Carlisle co-founded Animal People Alliance, 80, a non-profit organization based in Calcutta, India, that raises funds and trains and employs impoverished women to care for street animals. "We are teaching people that animals have feelings," says Carlisle. "How to recognize a street animal in distress. There is a middle class developing and they still don't have proper vet care, so a lot of what we do will be educational. We're partnering with a hospital in Calcutta to teach about adoption and to get access to emergency rooms." 80. In popular culture. In 1999, Carlisle was ranked number 76 with the Go-Go's in VH1's 100 Greatest Women of Rock and Roll. 81. In 2018, a series of progressive commercials paid homage to her song Heaven is a Place on Earth. Citation needed. In 2016, Heaven is a Place on Earth was the theme song of San Junipero, an LGBT-themed episode of the anthology Netflix series Black Mirror, which was set in the late 1980s. In 2020, Heaven is a Place on Earth was the theme song featured in an episode of the CW network's DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Slay Anything, Season 5, Episode 4. Which was also set in the late 1980s and featured both straight and LGBT characters in a high school prom setting which had a happy hero's ending. Awards and nominations. Billboard Music Awards. Year nominee, Work Award Result Ref. 1986 herself Top Billboard 200 Artist nominated, 82. Top Billboard 200 Artist, Female nominated. Top Hot 100 Artist nominated. Top Hot 100 Artist, Female nominated. Belinda Top Billboard 200 Album nominated. Mad About You Top Hot 100 Song nominated. 1987 herself Top Hot 100 Artist nominated, 83. Top Hot 100 Artist, Female nominated. 1988 herself Top Female Artist nominated, 84. Top Hot 100 Artist, Female nominated. Top Billboard 200 Artist, Female nominated. Top Adult Contemporary Artist nominated. Top Adult Contemporary Artist, Female nominated. Heaven is a Place on Earth Top Hot 100 Song nominated. Other awards. Year Awards Work Category Result. 1986 American Music Awards Herself Favorite Female Pop, Rock Video Artist nominated. Mad About You Favorite Pop, Rock Video nominated. 1988 Smash Hits Poll Winners Party Herself Best Female Solo Singer nominated. Worst Female Solo Singer nominated. Grammy Awards Heaven is a Place on Earth Best Female Pop Vocal Performance nominated. 1989 Brit Awards Herself International Breakthrough Act nominated. 1996 Smash Hits Poll Winners Party Herself Best Female Singer 85, nominated. 2016 Independent Music Awards California Blues, featuring Gabe Lopez, Best Pop Single nominated. 2018 Music Week Awards Herself Catalog Marketing Champagne nominated. Discography. Main article, Belinda Carlisle Discography. See also, The Go-Go's Discography. Studio albums. Belinda, 1986. Heaven on Earth, 1987. Runaway Horses, 1989. Live Your Life Be Free, 1991. Real, 1993. A Woman and a Man, 1996. Voila, 2007. Wilder Shores, 2017. See also. List of artists who reached number 1 in the United States. List of artists who reached number 1 on the UK singles chart. List of artists who reached number 1 in Ireland. List of number 1 singles of 1986, Canada.